Light stabbed into my eyes. Dizzy, tangled, and weighed down, I wanted to kick and struggle, but an overwhelming tiredness overtook me. My vision was nothing but white, a bright illumination that slowly began to fade just as much as a creeping agony began to settle in on my skull. I was under something heavy and rugged. A coarse blanket? Something was moving above me in a circle, whirling like the threshing machine, softly whoop, whoop, whooping away. Every limb felt heavy when I tried to lift them, to roll and try to stand. I could hear trotting nearby, some pony whistling and getting closer. Wanting to try to cry out for Glimmerlight, I instead felt my throat dry up and turn raspy. How long had it been since I'd last taken Rat away?
Well, how about that?
An older stallion, his voice drawling and tinged with an accent I'd only heard every so often. Movement began to fade into my sight, and my center of balance finally detected that I was looking upwards. The splitting headache only became worse as I shifted uncomfortably to try and see who it was. Blinking. Ow, even that hurt. I saw the silhouette gradually fade into a pony trotting up beside me. I tried to shift before stifling back a high-pitched cry. My head flared and fired a lance of pain from left to right between the ears. Falling back, panting on the couch or something?
Oh, whoa, easy there, easy. Just relax a second. Get your bearings.
I felt a hoof rest on my side, ever so gently pressing me back against the couch until I stopped wriggling. Blinking rapidly, finally things were coming into focus. A musty old room filled with antique furniture and lit by a hazy yellow drifting through closed blinds over the windows. The old stallion was right before me, setting my vision on him, struggling to keep my eyes open. I saw a rust-colored earth pony sitting upon an old cushion. A calm smile rested on his face, his eyes meeting mine.
You've been out a couple of hours. Had to give you something to keep you sleeping till the worst was over. Take it slow, and let's see what the damage is.
Moving my head elicited another sharp pain as though some pony had just hit me over the head with a wooden stick. Something about why I knew what that precisely felt like said a lot about a particular old master of mine. With slow effort, I finally got my hooves beneath me, unsteadily beginning to settle down on all fours. With my size, I could sit right across the couch fairly easily to face my helper? I hoped so.
Something I don't quite know. Let's just keep it simple there. How about your name?
He sat back again once I had risen from my side, smoothing out the tough leather claddings he wore and adjusting the red neckerchief. I noticed he did that a lot, like it never quite sat comfortably. Murky number 7.
Can't say it's anything I'd have picked, but if that's your name, that's your name. I'm Doc Minstrel. Welcome to my quaint little home. Now, I had to do a little bit of work keeping you alive back there. You were pretty beat up when we found you.
Slowly, moving on seemingly creaky old limbs, Minstrel leaned down and retrieved a cracked, dusty mirror between his front hooves. Blowing over it enough to raise a little cloud of stagnant dust, he set it down before me, allowing me to gaze down. The dust remained still in the thick interior air before dispersing and disappearing within the beams of light through the windows.
Now I did the best I could, but can't say I could make it perfect again.
Closing my eyes, I felt my hooves touch the mirror. The cool, burnished brass around it felt all too similar to the feeling in my gut. My imagination running riot. My head was hurting so much. He said it wasn't perfect again. What had happened to me? I didn't want to open my eyes. Dreading the moment, the dull aching in my forehead matching the weak beating of my heart, I slid my eyes open to look down upon myself. I gasped sharply, turning to a yelp. First in shock, then in pain, as the sudden motion of trying to throw the mirror away set every aching wound alight. My head, shoulder, back legs, and even one I hadn't felt in my front right hoof, seared as I collapsed down shivering. Minstrel moved quickly, his strong, firm hooves holding me in place to prevent further injury. Already my eyes were shedding tears. I had seen him. Above those matching horrific eyes, I now bore the same scar running from behind my left ear to just above my eye. Red and welted against my muddy green coat, it stood out as a swollen line of both pain and unpleasant memory. The knowledge of my head being permanently marked paled in comparison to that I looked like him.
Whoa there, just stay still. You ain't ready to go all thrashing round like that just yet, young buck. It'll probably fade in time when your coat grows back a little and the skin heals. But that there wasn't just any reaction to a pretty nasty scar, now was it?
I shook my head, wincing as that baleful line linking me to him throbbed, shaking tears across the couch beneath me.
Well, you rest here for now, Murky number 7. I get the feeling there's issues here I'm not seeing. But don't worry, you're safe here.
1,000 questions were vying for attention, one after the other. They wanted to explode forth, but through all the pain, through the mental scarring, and above all else, there was only one. Oh, where am I? Am I free? Did I get out? Doc Minstrel raised an eyebrow, letting me go.
I did have a thought you was a slave. You running from Red Eye?
Am I free? Please! It's taken all my life! It was a beg to more than just this stallion. It was to every pony, to my life, to the goddesses on their stars above, and every bit of fate I had ever been through. Doc Minstrel settled forward, resting his hoof on my back once again. For a second, every worry in my mind rose up. What if I had been dragged back inside Philly? What if this was just Protégé's personal physician he mentioned? The answer felt like it took 1,000 years to arrive. My heart in my mouth, I saw him take a breath.
We're miles from old Philly here, little buck. Don't worry, you made it just far enough.
He paused, a smile coming across his face as he rubbed my back and got up.
You're free at last, little slave.